Hey everybody, and welcome to the video. And in this video I want to present the alerting module that I have essentially added in the project. So let me walk you over what I'm talking about. Yeah, so in the last video, or in the essentially the last part, we made this amazing project, this beautiful dashboard, right, which is powered by DynamoDB. And as you can see, I can search, I can filter down to the logs, I can see various tasks for that particular process, and I can also see where exactly it failed and what time it failed and what is the exact exception. So all of that is great. Now the use case was, hey, we want to get a real-time alert when essentially a process fails, right? So for that, we did do a design session where we came up with this essentially flow. So what's going to happen that these processes, are going to insert their data into DynamoDB. Anytime the process will be successful, failed, and all those changes would be captured by data stream. Essentially, we're using Kinesis data stream. We are going to use a lambda to process the data, and anytime the lambda observe the status of the process as failed, we are going to publish that to the SNS, and anybody who's subscribed will essentially receive that alert. So let's see a small demo, and then again I'll try to walk you over the code base shortly. So again, we made this generalized template, right? As you guys are aware, over here again, user can use this class. It's a pretty generalized, right? So here I'm raising an exception purposely, assuming that the code failed, and hopefully, as you can see, it raised an exception called error. Right now, if I go back to my dashboard, that is today, I should be seeing those messages here. So here you can see I see the message here, right? But what you will also see, since there was an exception, this is captured, as you can see, near real time. It was captured by Kinesis, right? The lambda did process, and essentially in near real time we received an email that a process failed. So what now we are essentially we are interacting with the streaming data, and anytime anything fails, we are alerting the user that, hey, something has failed in your pipeline. Again, and then if needed, the person can go and log in into the dashboard and essentially view, okay, what exactly happened, right? So now he can click on a button, and then he can see which step exactly it failed, right? So it failed at here, what time it failed, what was the exact exception the code raised, right? Everything you can see pretty nicely. So yeah, again, I have a very nice article written on that, but just walking you over the code base. This is the entire infrastructure. Here is my SNS topic. Here is the subscription that I made. Here is a DynamoDB table. Here are all the GSI that we have modeled from the past video session. Here is the Kinesis data stream that essentially captures the data, right? And then I'll show you the lambda function. I'll collapse it so it's easier. So as you can see, the lambda receives streaming data. We deserialize the data. Once we get the data, we check on line number over here, line number 127. If you observe, we say if the record contains the word process in the primary key, then come inside, grab the status. If the status is failed, right, then we essentially publish to an SNS, which is obviously what we see in the architecture here. Again, all the code and resources are pretty well available on the GitHub, so I encourage you guys to try this out. So that's pretty much it, right? So now what we did is essentially, of course, the UI over here, the UI will give you all the details on a high level. If you observe, 11 processes were failed, 2 were successful. Total number of processes today, that is 1021, were 14 of them. I can easily query back, right? So here I can say, okay, I want to see like what happened on 17th. I can go, it's going to query the GSI. I can see what happened on the 17th and so on. And of course, I can filter down to the messages and etc, etc, etc. Not only that, as you just saw, it can handle million of concurrent requests. DynamoDB is designed and is meant for that. And all these events we capture the change, all these events we capture it, and we essentially broadcast or essentially insert that into a Kinesis data stream. The lambdas are going to process these events, and anytime a process is failed, over here, as you can see, we are going to broadcast that message to the SNS, and multiple people can subscribe to the notification, and basically you will get a beautiful email that this process failed, what time it failed exactly, and if needed, somebody could go and take a look at the further details on the dashboard, right? So we have this dashboard as well, right? So it's a really, really fun project, and also I have essentially posted all the resources and description on the GitHub section as well as on the LinkedIn blog. So please come and try this solution out. It's absolutely free. As you can see, everything step by step is given to you. And if you want to read about the data modeling, how we have modeled this using a single table design, there's a LinkedIn article which has in detail shows about every single access pattern here, right? So that's it for the video. I do encourage everybody to try this architecture and solution. It's pretty neat. It can essentially in near real time now essentially alert when a process is failed. So also now I can see on a daily basis how many processes were successful, how many failed, and now I can essentially alert when the process failed as well using Kinesis data stream. So this is a very, very great example of data stream, right? So we are capturing the data. Anytime there are insert, updates, or modify, we are essentially capturing that using Kinesis data stream. Once we do capture, what do we do is essentially we process the batches of streaming data using a Lambda function. Again, Lambda can scale horizontally, right? Now these Lambda will process the batch of records which it gets, right? And anytime it finds the status failed, it's gonna broadcast that on an SNS topic, and whoever is subscribed will get an email alert saying that, hey, something has failed, please go and check this out. Again, this is a system. It's more than about 600 to 700 lines of Python code. It's a template that a company or team can adopt this solution. So anytime you're running jobs on an EC2, scrapers, anything, you can leverage these processes, which will help you to identify how many jobs ran in a particular day. Was the job successful? Was the job failed? And you can get into the task level as well. And if anything failed, you will be also alerted in near real time as we are broadcasting now these events to SNS. The entire code, the Lambda, the DynamoDB, all the 600 lines of code, every single thing step by step is given on the GitHub section. So I do encourage you guys to check that out. And if you have any more questions, list your question in the comments and I'll be very happy to assist you. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys in the next video.